Good morning. My name's Karen Taradas. I'm with Social U, and it's time for What's Up Wednesday, where we come to you live every Wednesday, and we talk about social media and digital marketing tips, tricks, and trends because it's October and Halloween is just around the corner. We've been talking about nightmares and horror stories all this month. We have covered Facebook nightmares, LinkedIn nightmares, Instagram nightmares. If you guys want to go back and check those out, today we're going to talk about true life horror stories. Things that have happened to real companies that really got somebody in trouble or really got somebody fired. Yikes. Okay. And I want to share my screen with you guys so that we can cover some of this. So let me do that real quick. Okay. Screen share. Yes, please. All right, there it is. Okay, let's adjust just a little bit. Okay, let me make sure I've got everything in frame and we'll go ahead and get started. Some of these are terrible. Some were so bad I can't even show them to you. So bad. And some are so expensive I can't show them to you, but we did try to edit a couple so they could be included. So let's just go ahead and get started. And my team checked the Wi-Fi real quick. Okay. Oh, first things first. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this image. This is from American Apparel. It, for those of you who may not know, this is the Challenger explosion. It was a tragedy. It was a national tragedy. People died. Multiple people died in this event. And someone in American Apparel who was not alive when this happened used this picture as a happy 4th of July image. This is one of the reasons why you never, ever want to just Google an image and use it without knowing the context. And yeah, this is the strongest case I can make for don't use an image that you Google. Use something that you know the background for so you don't get in any kind of trouble. Yeah, this didn't go well for them at all. Oh, wow. Okay. There was a company pitching to FedEx. The location for FedEx, they're headquartered in Memphis, Tennessee. When the company who was doing the pitching came to Memphis, Tennessee to do their presentation, the vice president of that company tweeted about what a terrible place it was to live. You know, I don't like it here. If I had to live here, I would just die. Well, the CEO FedEx saw it and basically told them, absolutely not. We're not dealing with you on any level before they even got, I think, out of the airport. So you have to assume that whatever you're tweeting, people are going to see it. Again, that's why these are social media horror stories. People put this stuff out there and they assume that nobody's going to read it and they don't think through what's going to happen when somebody actually sees it. So it cost this company a massive client. It got them in tremendous hot water. And I want to tell you that it got the person who tweeted it fired, but I don't know that for sure. Okay. Oh, this is one of the worst ones ever. This teacher posted this tweet before she got on a plane to go to Africa about getting a disease. Hope she doesn't get this disease. Don't worry, she can't get it because she's Caucasian. Maybe the most racist post ever. So she got on the plane and turned her phone off. And by the time she got to her location, it was trending globally. She had lost her job. She all kinds of trouble. This woman got in all kinds of trouble. She definitely lost her job during her plane ride to her location. And what a horrible, insensitive thing to put out there. I cannot imagine that she wouldn't be feeling the repercussions of this for many years to come. Yeah, this one made me cringe. I wasn't even sure if we could include it because it's so incredibly offensive. Okay, you guys may be familiar with Gordon Ramsay. He does Kitchen Nightmares. He's done Kitchen Nightmares for years. There was one company called Amy's Baking Company where basically he told them there were problems with the company and the owners had a meltdown. And I mean a huge national meltdown. They cussed him, they cussed his crew. And then when people went online to complain about the company, or when people were in the restaurant complaining about the company, they cussed them too. So you guys have heard me say, you can't argue with crazy. You absolutely cannot argue with crazy. And that old Southern saying, don't fight with the pig. You'll get dirty and the pig likes it. Yeah, you cannot argue with crazy. It's just a terrible idea. And these people didn't like they wouldn't let it go. They went very purposefully through all of their social media and argued, yelled at, or cussed each of the persons who made a comment. That just shows incredibly poor taste and low class. It's just so offensive. Epicurious, again, you can't profit from a national tragedy. You should never profit from any kind of occurrence, a tornado, a fire, 9/11. These things are terrible. And the only reason you want to come together or post about it as a company is if you're donating money, if you allow your location to be used as a place to drop off donations, or if it affected you and you want to express your condolences to the families of the people who were affected. You would never use it for a coupon or a promotion. After the bombing and for the Boston Marathon, Epicurious thought it would be just a cool idea to use that to promote breakfast cereal. It's one of the weirdest promotions I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys, let me make it a little bit bigger so you can actually read this one. Wow. In honor of Boston, whole grain scones were on sale. That is the most horrifying crossover I think I've ever heard. It's so bad. I mean, it sounds fake. It's so bad, but it was not fake. And they posted multiple times and got in multiple counts of trouble. Just truly horrifying. So yeah, none of these are good. This one is, you can see what they did. 9/11, again, it's horrifying. So they made a pizza that looked like an American flag. So tacky. So tacky, and then said never forget. That's also in terrible taste. You just don't want to do that. Yeah, these are making me uncomfortable to tell you about them. Oh, so bad. UPS, this is not quite as bad. It was not quite as bad as the Boston Marathon for sure, but they posted this tweet 2018, so not so incredibly long ago. If your child addresses a letter to us at the North Pole, if your child addresses a letter to the North Pole, leave it with us because we do shredding. Just insensitive. A lot of parents were very offended by that. Again, just not a good idea to make fun of people's children. Just maybe not a good idea. This one's kind of funny, still horrifying. Delta was congratulating the USA on I want to say the Olympics, and they put a picture. They put a picture to represent the USA, the Statue of Liberty, which, as you can see here, yes, the Statue of Liberty. But the country that they are showing, where there's the giraffe, I believe it's Ghana. They don't actually have giraffes in Ghana. So if you're going to use a picture to represent a country, you might want to for sure know that animal or that representation is actually correct. Just going to throw that out there. So that one's not quite so horrifying. Little bit funny. That one's a little bit funny. Still tacky. And I don't know, you can see down here, it was trending so very quickly. It had 600 retweets immediately. So yeah, people notice when something's wrong. JP Morgan, this is an example of what happens when AI is involved. There have been several companies, of course, Microsoft in particular, that created AI robots to talk to their people online. Well, it didn't take hackers and spammers long to figure out they could skew the opinion of the AI response. So they skewed it to be racist, homophobic, offensive, and rude. Racist in particular, they posted things about the Holocaust that were incredibly offensive. I mean, immediately, spammers immediately got in there and ruined the AI. So Microsoft had such a bad experience, they haven't really gone back to that in a while. So you have to just be aware of this stuff. So yeah, AI, it was, oh gosh, so bad. Whew. Okay, Home Depot. This picture was so bad, I couldn't actually show it to you. Again, it's so incredibly offensive. Somebody, um, I'm not even going to tell you what it is. If you want to know, you're going to have to go look it up. Somebody put a racist picture up on Home Depot, and it was so offensive. The company, it cost them a fortune. The company had to go in and personally respond to every single tweet and apologize to all their clients because what they posted was so bad. It had such a response that they personally apologized to everyone who said something to them. That's how bad it was. That's horrifying. And this is last, and I'm going to tell you some of our personal ones too, but this one's last because to me it's the most offensive. There's a hashtag Me Too, and there's a hashtag Why I Stayed for domestic violence abuse survivors to be able to talk about their personal experience and connect with other survivors and talk about how they have overcome the situation. And DiGiorno Pizza, they compromised the hashtag by using hashtag Why I Stayed because you had pizza, which is maybe one of the most offensive things ever to say to an abuse survivor, which is why it's so critically important that you check all of your hashtags as a company. And I can tell you personally, from personal experience, we have had local companies that have had hashtags that were related to adult content. They just didn't realize that they were already connected to something before they started using them. So it's very important for you to check your hashtags. And yes, that's a national company and they had national problems out of it. But as a local small business, that can affect you as well. Again, we had a company not too long ago where we went in and checked their hashtags, and one of them shockingly was for adults movies. Some of the things that we have done personally are a little more entertaining, less incredibly offensive, still not good, but we're talking about nightmares, so I thought I would throw ours in there too. We we were doing a presentation at a movie theater not too terribly long ago, and we use Prezi and we use a lot of graphics. That's one of the things we bring to the table. We make custom graphics, and we made the graphic where it's the computer and there's a coffee cup and it's steaming because there's coffee in it. And you would not notice this maybe on your desktop, but when you get it on a movie screen that's 40 feet wide, you could definitely tell. Couldn't tell from the smaller picture, but we may have put a coffee cup with body parts on it in the presentation. And luckily for us, nobody noticed. We noticed, quickly and changed that out. But yes, stuff like that happens from time to time. We had one where one of our folks, one of my team members, posted a special online for $18, and it was really $180. And that error wasn't caught until there was a sale made. Again, I've been doing this for 11 years, and these are our worst nightmare stories. And we have team members of ours who've never made an error ever. And we're racking our brains trying to think of, what's the worst thing we've ever done? And that's one of the worst things that we've ever done. As far as engaged a client, we did one time, again, have an image for that you wouldn't, it was very subtle, but there was a body image supposed to social media platform, but we caught it pretty quickly and took it down. So things like that happen. Nightmares are bound to happen. That's why it's so critically important that you pay attention to what you're posting on your social media. And if you can have a proofreader, ideal. That would be ideal to have someone who can go behind you and check that kind of stuff. And of course, we make internal mistakes sometimes. Sometimes we, purchase $190 worth of pictures that we're unaware of, and that kind of stuff happens. but not too terribly often. Again, everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. I've made mistakes over the years. We had recently one of the stupidest things I've done. I was participating in, of course, everybody's been on Zoom for the last 2 years. I was participating in a Zoom presentation. It wasn't even a private meeting. It was a publicized presentation, and my microphone was on, and I had a phone conversation without being aware that my microphone was on, and that was not good. I was horrified, truly embarrassed. So things like that do happen. So you guys rest assured, almost everything is fixable. Even the companies that make the huge major faux pas, one of the best things you can do when you mess up like that is to own the mistake, apologize for it, and move forward. But yeah, mistakes happen. So you guys, that's it for us today. I wanted to, we never share any of the horror stories that happen, but they're out there. There are so many, and there were so many that were so offensive. I just couldn't even say them out loud. So these are some of the tamer again. We've been doing it 7 years. I have a great team. Everybody makes mistakes sometimes. I think that's normal. We will come back to you next month with a whole new series. I am leaning toward holiday promotions, how to gear up for the holidays, how to prepare for Black Friday, even if you're not retail, how you prepare for Black Friday and increase your profit. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Teresa. Thanks for your input. And we're here to help. If there's questions or things that you guys need, please let us know. Again, I think we're going to do holiday promotions, holiday contests, because those are very different. Promotion is very different than a contest, very different from a giveaway. Also very different than gearing up for Black Friday. And I see violations for contests on Facebook constantly. And a word to the wise, if you violate Facebook rules, they have the right to delete your page. And there are so many companies who tell me, well, I saw another company do this. Well, sure you did, but would you want to roll that dice on your own page, or you want to and just hope that they don't catch you? I don't, we don't do that. So we're going to show you the right way to do all this stuff. Thank you guys for joining me this week. We will have our schedule posted for next month. It'll be up and out by Friday. If you have any questions in the meantime, you can post a comment here or send a direct message to our page. And until next week, I'm Karen Taradas. I'm here to help. Thank you.